Hello to the team at Apex Landscape Solutions. My name's Jeff Bradley, and I work with businesses to get their websites ranked higher on Google search. And I wanted to make you this quick video to show you a couple of really simple things you can do to your website that will greatly improve your Google ranking and multiply your monthly revenue. And I'm going to show you some key numbers and metrics from inside your the websites of the top 3 competitors in your area. And I'm going to show you why they are currently outranking you and what needs to be done for you to close that gap so you can beat them in the rankings. So first, I took a look at your website, and I looked at your services and found that a lot of your services would fall under the general umbrella keyword of hardscaping. So I wanted to use hardscaping as a search term because hardscaping is a very high traffic volume keyword right now. So I took a look at your rankings, and I found that you are currently using the hardscaping Olympia, Washington keyword. You are on page 4. You're about halfway down. There you are. However, the problem is, according to Google, 92% of people who search on Google never look past page 1. So all of these people that are below page 1, they are really not being seen by very many people at all, especially once you get past page 2. Page 2 is picking up about 8% of all searchers, and after that it's pretty slim. It's actually nothing. You're basically invisible in these mid pages and downward. Now, I've had clients that are below page 10, which means basically Google does not even know they exist. So since you're on page 4, at least Google does know you exist, and that's a good place to start. So as I said, you're halfway down on page 4. So I want to show you what needs to be done to get you bumped up in the rankings onto page 1, which is, for starters, going to multiply times 10 the number of people who are going to see you. And being on page 1 is extremely significant in that this is where page 1 is where all your future customers are. So the businesses that are on page 1 are scooping up all of your future customers. So we need to get you bumped up onto page 1. And here is what we can do to get you headed in that direction. So the first thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you is your title tag. Now, these blue lines of text are all title tags. Now, the title tag tells Google what it is that you want to rank for, and it also is telling Google that these are the very keywords that you want people to use to find you with. Now, the title tag doesn't appear anywhere on your website. It's actually entered into the editing section in the back end of your website. There's a field called title tag, and you can type in what you want your title tag to be, and it will appear as the blue line of text in all these search results. So this is your title tag currently, Apex Landscape Solutions. Now, the problem with this is that nobody searching for your services would ever even know to type in your business name there. They just wouldn't even know to do it. Now, let me show you. Let's go back to your website. I'm going to show you this scanner. I'm going to open up the scanning tool, come down and scan this page. Currently, as we found, your title tag is Apex Landscape Solutions Home. But again, you're telling Google that these are the words that you want people to use when searching for you, to find you on Google. But nobody searching on Google is for any of your services is even going to know to type in your business's name in their search. So let me show you how critically important it is to get the title tag dialed in correctly. I'm going to copy yours as is. I'm going to open up a blank tab, and I'm going to paste these search words into a brand new search, and watch what happens. Boom, using the search words that you indicated that you want people to use, guess what? You came up number 1 on page 1 of my new search. And in fact, you're pretty much dominating page 1 here. But again, nobody is ever even going to know to use any of these search words when they're searching for your services. So what we need to do, number 1, is get your title tag dialed in correctly. Now, there's a format that Google wants to see. as far as title tags go, and it reads from left to right. The first thing that Google wants to see is the keyword for the main service that you want to provide. In our example here, I'm using hardscaping. So the keyword for this page, if we wanted to attract people searching for hardscaping, the keyword would be hardscaping dash Olympia, Washington dash Apex Landscape Solutions. So from left to right, it's the main keyword, and then a dash, and then your location, which is Olympia, Washington, and then dash, and then your business name at the end. Now, ideally, what's going to happen is ultimately we want to have a separate page for every one of your services, and each one of those services is going to have its own individual title tag. Like, for example, your irrigation page, the title tag would say irrigation or irrigation systems dash Olympia, Washington dash, and then your business name, etc. And the same with lighting systems, same with all your services. Now, this leads me to the second thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you, and that is your H1, which stands for header 1. And your header 1 is a line of text that usually appears somewhere at the top of your website. And the header, or the H1, needs to match exactly what you have in your title tag. And that has to happen for each page. And each page having its own individual custom title tag has to have a matching H1. So we come down here and we find out that currently you don't have an H1 on this page. You have an H2, an H3, and these perform different functions than what the H1 does. And I could explain that to you at another time. But basically the H1 is the thing that Google looks at. And it also contains the keyword that you want people to use to find you with. And the H1 needs to match exactly what you have in your title tag. And when there is a one-to-one match like that, what this does is it creates a crystal clear channel of communication between your website and Google's algorithm. Now, once that is done, Google now is no longer confused about what you want to rank for. Google now knows how or knows who to direct to you in a search. Now we can begin directing traffic directly to your website. And not only for hardscaping, but as I said, for all of the other services that you offer. For example, let's go down here to your hardscapes page. It's loading kind of slow. Here we go. I noticed that a lot of these services down here, of course, they fall under the umbrella of hardscaping. But you could also create individual individual pages for fire pits or outdoor cooking or walkways, patios, all of the services, retaining walls, all of the services that you offer. We could find the most high traffic volume keyword to represent all these services and create an individual page for each one of them. And each page will have its own custom title tag and its matching H1. When all of this is in place, you're going to have an incredibly well laid out website, very logically laid out. Google sees that and immediately knows that this is a high authoritative website that gives Google high confidence to drive traffic to you. And in addition to having your title tag and your H1s all dialed in, this is going to create a crystal clear channel of communication, like I said, between your website and the Google algorithm. And you're going to be able to begin to drive massive amounts of traffic, not only to your website, but to the individual pages where all of your individual services are. Now, all of these things, and there are some other things as well that are involved, but all these things I just mentioned are called your on-page optimization. All of this represents about 50% of your ranking power. Now this leads me to the third thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you, which is the other 50% of what makes up your ranking power, and that is your backlink profile. Now, you probably know what backlinks are. It's when an outside website links back to your website. And when that happens, part of that website's ranking power is transferred back to you along that link. Now, I took a look at the backlink profiles of your 3 top competitors. Now, we'll start with Yards Done Right. Now, I'm not going to explain all of the details about how backlinks work. I could do that at a later conversation with you if you are interested. I just wanted to show you an overview to give you an idea of where you stand in context in relation to your competitors. The domain rating is what we look at, and this is about 50% of what Google looks at when trying to rank you. Now, most businesses on page 1 are going to have a domain rating somewhere in 20s, in the 30s. But here we have one at 0.6%. This is incredibly low. They've got 20 backlinks, and 20% of those backlinks are transferring ranking power back to Yards Done Right. They've got an incredibly low rating, but yet they're on page 1, which brings me to the rule that we want to keep in mind. To rank on page 1, you don't have to have the greatest website in the world. All you have to do is have a website that is a little bit better than everybody else's in your area. Now, this tells me that there are not a lot of great websites in your area. They're not designed well. They don't have all these little details dialed in. So the competition level is not that steep for you. Let's take a look at your second competitor, Olympic Landscapes. Oops, let's kind of reload that and see. Olympic Landscapes is a domain rating of 7. It's a little bit better than the last one, but still 7 is pretty poor. They've got 772 backlinks. That's quite a lot. And only getting a domain rating of 7 tells me that the quality of these backlinks is pretty poor. So competitor number 3, Aquastone Landscaping, they've got a domain rating of 0, which is, well, it's pretty bad. Bad as you can get, really. And for having 139 links, these links must be just pretty worthless. Let's go back. Let's go to your backlink profile, Apex Landscape Solutions. That's you. You've got a domain rating of 1.6. You're actually better than 2 of the businesses that are on page 1. You've got 25 backlinks. 80% of them are transferring power to you. This is a pretty good looking backlink profile. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done here, but my point in showing you all of this is that you are well within reach of these other competitors of yours as far as being able to catch them and pass them in the rankings. All it's going to take is a well thought out campaign of building high quality backlinks to your website. And this is going to make up about 50% of your ranking power. Combined with the other 50%, all the details that we discussed earlier, all of your competitors are well within reach of you to catch them and pass them in the rankings. That's my whole point in showing you this. So if you would like to know more about all these things, to have all your questions answered, to find out what a campaign would look like and what we could expect in the coming months for you, and what it would do to your ranking and your monthly revenue, just reply back and let me know. I'd be happy to answer all your questions. I hope this is of value to you. Just give you an idea where you stand. You're in a good spot to overtake and pass your competitors on page 1, and we can do that in a pretty short period of time. So just let me know, and be happy to have a conversation with you. So I hope you're having a great day. I'm sorry the video went so long, but I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye now.